We talk about the adage, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, but this one reminds us that we cannot bring a gun to a knife fight. Hi everyone, this is John. With today's active self-protection lesson, it comes to us out of Miami, and it's an officer-involved shooting that happens after the officer is stabbed multiple times by an assailant. It's going to teach us some important lessons. It's why we respect law enforcement officers like we do here at ASP, because they put up with this kind of stuff, and it's a danger of the job every day. We also see here how fast a knife attack happens, how they happen in real life, not in Hollywood, how you got to use those empty-handed skills and 5Ds when they come into play, and then when the time comes and you've got the time and distance, you got to put shots on target fast to end the threat. As this one begins, this man is trying to set fire to this gas station by opening up the tank to the gas station storage and now trying to pour gasoline on it so that he can set the entire thing on fire. Now, thankfully, there was a Miami-Dade police officer who was nearby, and as this guy is doing his stuff, he finally gets seen, and the officer here off camera, if you go read the story, goes and shuts the pumps off. Now he goes and threatens the guy, and he tells him, hey, listen, put it down, knock it off, do what you're doing, and the guy doesn't listen to him, and so the officer tases him, but the taser's ineffective, and then the guy comes after him with multiple knives. He's got at least a couple knives on him, and he is just stabbing this officer up. And now we see him actually going for the officer's gun. So now multiple stabs, he grabbed his knife off the ground there, and this officer's just getting stabbed badly, badly. Now the officer starts to fight back here, and finally here, he's just, after being stabbed so many times, he gets enough distance and is able to employ his firearm and use it effectively. The police department did not release the actual shooting of this felon, and so it ends there. So let's go back and let's learn some lessons here. And number one, I think it's very important that this officer used his verbal skills, but the verbal skills didn't do anything. This guy's just crazy and bent on destruction. And so when your verbal skills don't work, when your verbal judo doesn't work, do you have additional tools in your toolbox? Another force option. Well, he used another force option. He grabbed his taser. Now, he didn't know this guy had knives on him, but the taser didn't work. And you got to be ready for your non-deadly force options, for your intermediate force options not to work. This one didn't. And now this guy is all over him. And are you ready here in this moment to fight off your back? Fighting off your back, using your ground skills, I think is very important. Having some skills, empty-handed skills especially from your back, very, very important. You see how brutal this is, that this guy is now going after the officer's gun, and weapon retention skills, especially for law enforcement officers, anybody who open carries as well, not necessarily CCW. I don't think they're going to come up in CCW all that much, but open carry for absolute certain, this is very important to have. Now, as this fight continues, you see the bad guy pick up a knife that he'd got fallen on the ground. And I also think it's very important for us to see that the officer actually picked up one of the bad guy's knives here. He used an environmental weapon, whatever that was, whether it was a big butcher knife or whatever. He just picked up what was around while he's trying to hold on to his gun, which tells me, guys, it's a really important option to have some kind of a short force option on you. And finally, he gets the distance. You see the distance here that he's able to get. That's what it took, getting the guy off his gun and getting the distance to get his gun in the fight and end it. This officer lived. Go read the news story. He had some pretty cool things to say at the end.